The mythical real developer. What do the Easter Bunny, the Tooth Fairy, Santa Claus, and real software developers have in common? None of them actually exist. Sorry to burst your bubble. Uh, right now, you're probably wondering, what is this guy talking about? What I'm talking about is the myths and legends that shape our world. And in software development and in technology in general, we're not immune to it. Like, we like to think that we are above superstition and magical thinking, yet the majority of developers still believe in the myth of meritocracy. So today I just want to talk about what is a real developer? How do we talk about real developers, and what do they mean to us? Defining a myth is hard, so I'm probably gonna this definition is going to be a little bit difficult, but I'm going to try to walk you through it. I'm going to try to draw a picture of what I'm thinking, and but I'm going to do it with words. So when we think of the real developer, what do we think? Maybe we think, the polyglot, the person that knows a whole bunch of languages. Maybe they write everything in C. Maybe they've got over 10 years of experience, a decade of experience. A real developer does test-driven development. They've got a computer science degree. There's a lot of different ways that we think of what a real developer is. Sometimes when people say a real developer, what they mean is white, male, young, and upper class. That's what they think of when they think of a real developer. And sometimes people think that real developers are all powerful, that they know everything, and that they're better than everyone else. How do we talk about real developers? All right, so I talked about some kind of sort of abstract ideas a little bit there. Now we're going to get into some things about the way we talk about it, and sometimes it's why we talk about ourselves. Sometimes it's the way we talk about other people. So sometimes we say, a real developer would already know this. A real developer would write better code. They might already know how to do this or solve this. A real developer would never make this mistake. I've heard that many times, coming from myself and coming to myself. Sometimes we think that a real developer would not find this hard to understand, or a real developer would not have a hard time finding a job. So there's different ways we talk about that. I'm not a real developer. You're not a real developer, according to these definitions. There's going to be such a tiny number of people that really fit all those definitions. But remember, this is just a myth, right? What I'm trying to do is illustrate kind of an idea. Like, go back and look at those things if you don't believe me, go back and think about this real developer that we're talking about. Whenever, you say about this about yourself, or you say this about someone else, who is this mythical real developer that you're talking about who says, oh, a real developer would already know this. Oh, a real developer programs in C. Or a real developer wouldn't have a hard time finding a job. You hear these things over and over and over again. That's the myth I'm talking about. All right. All of this really comes down to insecurity. I'm going to use an example that might offend some of you, but so be it. Why does the president, Donald Trump, boast and belittle so much? Because he is deeply, deeply insecure. He's afraid. And this is how animals work. There's fight or flight, but there's also bluffing. You will see this, and I'm sure you already do. You see this everywhere in people. Developers behave the same way. They are people, and people are animals. So, of course, developers also have fight or flight and this bluffing characteristic. You'll see all over. When they're threatened, they will run, they will fight, or they will bluff. When threatened, developers run away. They get depressed. They don't make things. They don't take chances. They isolate themselves. They don't share their work. They hide what they know. How many times have we seen other developers do this? Or how many times have we seen ourselves do this? How often do you want to do a project or learn a language, but you stop yourself? You're afraid. You're running away. Other developers will attack, right? They will lie. They will insult. They'll criticize. They'll sabotage. Sometimes they'll sabotage, or they don't contribute. I think we've probably all seen or experienced knowledgeable, experienced developers who, after a project or an experiment will fail, they say, "Well, I knew it was going to fail. Always knew it was going to fail. You guys didn't do X." And you just think, "Well, this person was here from the beginning. How come they didn't say that?" Well, because they felt attacked in some way and they wanted to sabotage it by not contributing their knowledge, by withholding. And then another thing you'll see very often is when threatened, developers will bluff, right? They'll brag, they'll scoff, and they'll belittle. I'm sure we've all had those things. I mean, we've heard those things. Yeah, this one particularly gets to me. So what can we do about this? Remember that you cannot change other people. You can only change yourself. Know that as a developer, you are going to feel intimidated sometimes. Be mindful of your behavior. The whole field of software development is gigantic. You're never going to learn every language. You're not going to know everything about your domain. You're not even going to know everything about your workplace, most likely. Be mindful of your behavior. Ask yourself, when you feel a little uncomfortable, are you hiding, attacking, or bluffing? I know this is unfair. Especially for disadvantaged groups. I'm not really giving you anything or offering any way out of when people are attacking or bluffing. But why should you be the burden of change? Because it's the right thing to do. And if you're watching this video, then you probably care about right and wrong. It may be surprising to you that other people don't. It's not that they don't care. They don't see a problem. And I can't talk to those people. I can't talk to the developers that are going to continuously engage in attacking and bluffing because they won't listen to me. But you, if you're watching this video, you actually give a damn. You actually care. And so maybe these things that I say, even though you might be the biggest perpetuator of these behaviors, maybe when you see it in yourself, you'll try to stop it. And we can all kind of work together to try to make the world a better place. There are no real developers. If you write code, you are a developer. If you only have written hello world in, JavaScript on the console or something, or even just you are a developer. As soon as you write code, you're a developer. I think you're awesome. So don't let other people belittle you. Keep coding, keep working, keep learning, keep growing, and help each other out. And when you feel scared, when you feel intimidated, think about your behavior. Think about, are you attacking someone? Are you hiding? Are you pretending like you know more than you do? Are you trying to intimidate people? And try to make software development fun for everyone. We can do this. Thank you.